Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whichever part of the world you're in. I'm Yogesh Kapoor here with these three beautiful ladies doing our Lightworker workshop coming up, the Super Manifestation event on 16th October. Now, I was missing in the last live because I had internet issues, but I'm here today and we're going to be talking about things we've manifested and why you should be attending this event. So, I'd like to start with you, Catherine. Would you like to talk about something that you've manifested?
Thank you, Yogesh. I've literally manifested the life that I'm living now. So during the last 12 months, my life has completely changed, completely changed. Right at the beginning of the year, I felt that I needed to do some training for what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the money to do it. And at that point, I was also trying to work out my soul mission, work out what was needed of me. And I literally got to a point where I knew that I couldn't try to do what was needed of me while I was in the current and in the work that I was in. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to finish work to do their soul mission. This is just my personal experience. And I was really in the battle of having enough money because in my mind, thinking from the ego and the mind, I couldn't see a way forwards. And I thought to myself, well, I can't afford to let go of my work. And then I began to realize in steps. So understanding manifestation and how to manifest didn't come to me immediately, but I began to understand it because I asked for help with this. And I was drawn to an email. An email was sent to me informing me how they were going to change my pension because I was a teacher in education. And an email told me that they were going to change my pension, which meant that my pension would be a lot less than it would be if I carried on working till 60. So I started to think about this and I started to manifest and ask for guidance with this. Can this be the way for me to release my work so that I can do my soul mission? And the answer was yes. And I was given guidance. And I manifested that by asking, sort of seeing in the long term what I wanted and asking for guidance in that. And it's been steps by steps by steps. So it's not a big chunk step like, I want my life to be like this. It's been step by step by step. So there's so many examples of when I've manifested that, and it's been linked to my soul mission that I've actually been given and received what I've manifested to get me to this point from where I was at the beginning of the year. But that's continuing. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'll give you an example from the weekend. I've been manifesting work in my local community. I really wanted to contribute to the local community. I knew I was being guided and told, you have to stay where you are. You need to work in the community. I really didn't know how it was going to happen. And I'm also about to publish a book as well. So I literally, one of the neighbours, I was manifesting this, and one of the neighbours who's on a committee for the community approached me to do some work in the local meadows, the community meadows with people doing mindfulness and meditation and so on. So they actually approached me. And then the first session was at the weekend just gone. And as I was just absolutely excited and thrilled, and the key element was this joy inside me. And I was just thinking, right, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Just bring more people to me. I'm ready. And that day and the following days since, I've had people contacting me. I've had emails from people who've looked at my website and asked me, to keep them in touch with different events and things I'm doing. But what was really interesting was as well, I've had lots and lots of emails from agents who want to publish my book.
Beautiful.
And I just think it's energy, isn't it? So in my step by step, I have learned that a key component is that joy when we're in alignment, and that joy in service. And then when we ask for that manifestation and we're in the right place energy wise, it comes to us.
Beautiful. That's very beautiful. Which kind of reminds me of the previous event we did on inner child healing, right? So how would you say it relates to what we did in the last event?
Through my experience of manifestation, I found that joy is a key component of manifestation, because when we're in that place of alignment and we're in that place of service, that's pure joy, and the joy you feel when you're in service, that's when I manifest. And that's I do believe that's why I was guided to do that part of the last session, for that reason, so that can help us and support us to be in the right space for manifesting.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Catherine. Moving on, let's ask Christina. Christina, tell us something that you've manifested recently.
Well, recently, probably the biggest things were I knew that I really wanted to travel. I was starting this business with Ultimate Retreats, and I could see coming and exploring, um, going and doing a lot of different retreats, doing different events. And when I would go to different places where I would be, previously, different years past, I would be at places and I would sit and I could feel this energy of being there. And I would be like, I really love traveling, but I want to be able to travel and, and have the energy of having to be able to experience this while doing what I love, while working, while and have it all together, build it, put it in together. And I didn't know how exactly I was going to do that at the time. Well, because this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, but I kind of like pocketed that emotion, that energy, that feeling. And so as this kind of came and I started to do these events and started working with people and I started manifesting, I started to feel that again, touch base with that. And that's what I used to manifest my camper and and the truck that I now use to go on events and retreats. So when the business purchased this so we could do these events and retreats, and it was with the energy of knowing that I wouldn't be just helping myself, I would be helping multiple people. For many years we knew we wanted those things, but when we would think about purchasing them for ourselves or just our family, that wasn't going to come. It was when we decided we were going to do it for the greatest good for the group, that and we purchased it as a business expense, that it was able to come easily. Well, it wasn't easily, but it came. And that's when I felt that quantum leap energy occur. And it was much easier to have that happen as a business expense than as a personal expense. So now when we use this, it's always for the business, and it feels much different, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, it totally does, because you've aligned it to a purpose, right? You've aligned this expense to a purpose. And once we align ourselves or certain things to a purpose, the universe conspires in its own way. We don't really have to figure out the how. It just comes about. Sometimes the duration is longer than we think, but I totally agree with you on that, because even when I first started my public speaking journey and I flew all the way from Hong Kong to Indonesia, I mean, I was just getting calls out of nowhere. Can you come here, fly here? Can you come to this school? Can you do that? I mean, because there was a purpose attached to it. So I can totally relate to what you're saying. And thank you so much for sharing that. And Carrie,
Yeah.
let's move on to you. What about you?
So I want to share a slightly different example. I want to talk about manifesting love, healthy, good relationships and people in your life. I've got lots of examples where I've manifested money to do something, to do my service work, to do my source work, my soul mission. But I want to talk about manifesting love, healthy relationships and people in your life, because for me, I've always felt very rich in that way. I've always felt really hugely abundant in that way. Even before I started my spiritual journey, I always felt very blessed. And I always felt that I had a lot of love in my life, and I was able to give a lot of love, but I was also able to receive a lot of love. And going back to what Kathy was saying about that joy, and very much linking it to the workshop we did, that funny enough, in this life, I've never really had blocks to relationships and to people and to love, but I've had huge blocks to money. Like massive blocks to money, to a point where when I was a single mum, I was doing 3 jobs just to put food on the table. It wasn't even for life's luxuries. It was literally just to feed my daughters. And that was not a problem to me, because love was everything, and love was at the center of everything I did. And I would do anything for them, and at that point, I didn't care I was doing 3 jobs, because my girls were happy. We didn't have much financially, but there was a lot of love in our house. There was a lot of happiness in our house. And I spoke very briefly on our last live about literally manifesting my divine counterpart, my husband. And I did. I literally manifested it. And I can really talk very strongly about this, because we focus so much, don't we, on manifestation, on the financial, the material. But what about the spiritual side? What about the spiritual side? And I can give you examples when I've manifested clients so many times, when I've gone, okay, I'm a little bit quiet. How do you want me to serve? How do you want me to serve? What do you want me to do? I've received that wonderful guidance to put this course on, or that workshop on, or start this service up. And then the clients have come. And even like I delivered a workshop last week, and I only had 7 people booked on it. And I was, 3D human thing. The logical mind went, 7? Ugh, I've got all this amazing work I want to share. 2 of those souls messaged me after the workshop and said, I can't tell you how much that has changed my life, that hour and a half. And to me, that's everything. So when I'm thinking of yes, of course, I want to manifest things. I want a beautiful place where I can bring people together. People can come, they can heal, they can grow, they can celebrate this life together. Of course, and I'm manifesting that with all my manifestation might. I visualize it day in, day out. I see it when I'm meditating. I see myself there doing my soul mission work, and I can see sources bringing people to me so I can help them and I can do my work. But absolutely and utterly, for me, the greatest joy, the greatest pleasure when I manifest is when I see that the work I am doing, the impact that's making on others and how that's helping others. And when I see that, I feel like the most abundant person on planet Earth. I feel like I am oozing with supreme manifestation abilities. I feel like I'm sparkling and I'm radiant. And of course, it's sourced through me. It's sourced through me. I'm that conduit, and I'm that channel, and I'm connected to source, and I am source, as each and every one of us are. So I just really wanted to share that, because I always, when I see things on Facebook or on Instagram about manifestation, and people are going, I can make you rich in 1 month, you'll be earning £10,000 or $10,000 a week. I'm like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. It's about living your most fulfilling life on earth here, where we're here. We've come back to this life and really fulfilling that and being happy and joyous, like Kathy and Christina said, in that service to source, in that service to humanity, and just seeing the impact that that makes. And then you just feel ridiculously rich. Ridiculously rich.
I agree. You know, I wanted to say something about that. There's been so many people that I've manifested, actual beings.
Yeah.
There's
We've all manifested each other.
well, yeah,
I
exactly.
manifested all of you.
Exactly. There's been so many times when I would say, you know, I would really like to work with someone who knows a lot of different things and is in Africa, for example. And then the next thing I knew, I was working with Grace.
Right.
For example, you
Love
know,
that.
Grace is a coach and was one of my coaches, and she works in Africa. You know, I manifested her. I feel like I manifested Yogesh. You know, I've manifested working with Carrie and Catherine. Yeah, there's so many of the different people that I now work with that you know, I will sit and you know, when I'm connecting with spirit, they'll give me downloads. You know, you manifested this person. You know, you know, and yes, and those are what that actually is more valuable than anything I have.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just
any
amazing.
material thing I have, because that emotional attachment is so precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way I see the money and that side of it, this is my, from, you know, giving my sort of viewpoint from the heart, is that when I ask for money, it's always linked to what I am being guided to do. So it's okay. You wanted me to do that. You wanted me to do that course. I haven't got that money at the moment to do that course. So I manifested that money and I did that course. But the greatest thing from that course, the other thing I was manifesting was bring the people into my life who I can give to them as they can give to me, and we can work together for this common goal. And that was the greatest thing from the course. So I see money as just a facilitator. Money is an energy.
It's energy, yeah.
It's an energy, and the exchange of money is an energy. But when you think about what that exchange of energy is for, that's what we really, really want to manifest. The money is just part of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've had so many different hats. I used to sell, you know, oils and different things just so I could manifest education, or so I'd have the money to get more education. And I thought about it today before this event or this live, that I've spent more money on my education than my daughter did for her 4-year college degree. But was it worth it to me? Most definitely. I have received so much knowledge. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think if we're truly meant to do something, if we're truly meant to have an experience or to learn something or to go somewhere or to do something, we are always divinely supported, and we just need to activate those codes for that manifestation, don't we? So that we can go, do you know what, source? Do you know what, angels, my spirit guides? I really, really feel very guided. I need to be here, or I need to do this. And then we just trust, don't we? We trust. And if it's meant for us, it opens up for us, doesn't it? That opportunity opens up for us.
yeah.
And it's just amazing, and it's marvelous, and it's wonderful. And every one of us is a supreme manifester. We've just got to trust, be in the right space, and be asking for the right things. That's key. Be asking for the right things.
Yeah. There's all the different things that it opens up for you and that you can do. It's just amazing. And really, it's all your heart. It's the love.
Yeah.
It all comes from love.
I totally agree with you, ladies, because I just realized that it's the experience we want to manifest, right? Too many people are stuck into the material aspect of everything. I want $1 million. I want this, I want that, but they don't realize what do they really want the $1 million for, and that's why it doesn't manifest. And it's funny. I was just listening to a YouTube video earlier today about a guy who manifested $1 million, and he's like, you know, uh, people just tie it to the wrong thing. It's not like you want $1 million in cash. It's the experience you want to tie it to. And he was giving an example of eating at a really expensive Italian restaurant or at a normal Italian restaurant, but the food at the normal Italian restaurant was the same, even better. So he's like, so it's all about what you want to tie it to. It doesn't necessarily have to be that supreme thing that you want. Like too many people attach it to, I want to buy a yacht, I want to have a helicopter, and all the don't mind my language, bullshit you see on internet. Absolutely. Where you see guys in Ferrari and stuff, but it's not aligned to their purpose at all. And that's why most people buy into it and they fail.
That's why when I go and I travel, my favorite places to go to eat, like if I'm, when I go to eat, is to like little mom and pop restaurants, very traditional, restaurants where they're serving local food. I love eating local food wherever I go, but I like it to be somewhere where they're making it, I don't like going really fancy. I like going where they're making it very traditional, and it's their hard work, because you can taste it. Yeah. And I would rather give them extra money, as a tip or something, than to pay for all the decorations and all the fancery, because there's something about that local taste and that love in their food. It just, ever since I was a kid, I've always enjoyed that
energy of love.
Yeah, that energy of love. And I was talking to my daughter the other day about the taste of love. She's like, I can't taste that. And I said, okay, well, what are the foods that that taste like home to you? And we were discussing that.
I love that.
Yes, because it's true. There's certain foods that you would tune to taste. Yeah. To me, it's homemade bread.
Since you mentioned food, I'll just give you the smallest thing I manifested recently. So I'm staying at a hotel in China, right? I don't have an apartment yet here. So every morning I go for breakfast. The first thing I eat is fruit. So every day I have jackfruit, orange, melon, watermelon. So just 2 days ago, I said to myself, you know what? I feel like eating a banana, but I'm just too lazy to go and buy it from the supermarket or somewhere. And the next morning in the buffet, there was a banana, and I was like, there you go. I
love
simple as that.
That's cool.
I love that. It's amazing. I've got visions.
Banana.
I've got visions of you stood.
There's the experience, right?
Love it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Stood in the restaurant. Thank you, sauce. I've got my banana.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to manifest other things too. Let's see how it shows up. I mean, I'm not worried about if it comes or not. I'm not stressing over it, but I'll just go with the flow.
But those little signs.
Yeah, and that's such a good point then you've just touched on, Yogesh. We've got to release that attachment to outcome when we manifest as well. So we ask for what we manifest, but we have to always understand that we're given what's for our highest good or the highest good of others.
Yeah.
So tomorrow it might not be a banana, but it might be something else that's nice as well.
Well, I'll give you another example. I called a friend in India for some work. He didn't get back to me. I called a friend in Indonesia. He didn't get back to me. Another friend of mine from Spain. I had some work with him, and while we're doing this live, everyone's calling me, right, left, center, because I'm relaxed. I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So I got a call on one phone, the other phone, but I'm not picking them up. And it's like, see, when you're just relaxed, everyone just starts calling in.
Yeah, it's energy. It is that energy, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all in a really good, positive vibration and a space of love. Amazing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's beautiful.
So for those of us who, I mean, we will be doing the event, but for those of you that are going to watch this live and are interested in this event, how can they reach us, Christina?
I will put the link with the event or with this live so they can get a hold of our event. So yeah, I'll attach that to the event. So, and it will be this Saturday or no, sorry, this Sunday at 11 Central Time. And what is that, London?
I think it's 4:30 in the UK, isn't it? It's 10:30 CST,
No.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's 10:30. I was thinking it was 11, but it's 10:30.
10:30 and 4:30 p.m. UK.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll put the link in, and then I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. This is going to be fun. And it's really nice because the activation events we can do over and over again. So it works, you know, indefinitely. It's not like one of those things where you just get the information and that's it. You can use that within our bodies and fields many, many times. And it's really helpful to do that. So I love that about activations because they're so helpful in that way. And so, and I keep feeling all these codes coming through for it. So it's just really beautiful. And it fits with this the October energy, all the golds and oranges, and it's just right now is a time for what is it for abundance and reaping, you know, so it's like the perfect time to do that. Yeah.
And can I just say as well, something I've been given is that it also fits at the moment with the messages that we're getting around self-love.
Yes.
And so I just want to reiterate what Carrie said before. You know, we deserve this, each and every one of us, each and every one of you listening.
And when you say that, Catherine, it feels like this event, even when you haven't gone to the other one, you're still going to feel that activation of self-love within that because it is that abundance. And so you're going to still receive some of those self-love codes of, you know, it's still coming into your field.
Exactly. I've had lots of guidance around that at the moment and how manifestation is so connected with our self-love.
Yeah, it's like interwoven.
Yeah.
It's very interwoven. And so they're going to still be connecting and getting that all throughout their bodies and fields all the way down. I feel it like from their pineal gland all the way down to their root, but especially from their throat down. It just feels really, really, yeah. It's like I'm feeling the codes that you're giving me already. It's beautiful. So yes, it's going to, I just already feel it's going to be a very beautiful event. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very excited.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your manifestations. And once again, those of you who are going to watch this live or watching this live, if you haven't got your ticket, please do. It's going to be an amazing event, and we're close to the end of the year. If those manifestations aren't working, come, get those codes, learn, and manifest whatever you want in the coming year. And that's it from me. Anything else anyone would like to add, ladies?
No, just hope to see you all there. I'm very excited and really looking forward to be of service to Source and to those souls who feel guided to come to us.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on Sunday.
See you. Bye.